my overarching, opinions on this is I don't think people are taking it seriously enough. Hello, everybody. Josh Rimany here with your Functional RX podcast. And today we are going to talk about the elephant in the room, COVID-19, coronavirus.
Back again for another update.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, it's only been a few days since we talked about it last time, and there has been a lot that has changed.
And it's almost to the point where I think when we post something else changes every single day. I've had to reboot and refigure things out. So we're just going to talk a little bit about where we are today and what's going on, because I've been out and about preparing the pharmacy.
Well, you're probably more well-educated and knowledgeable about what's actually happening, what's true, and what's fake news, too.
Yes, and I think what's my overarching, opinions on this is I don't think people are taking it seriously enough. We actually closed our doors at the pharmacy today and are going strictly to curbside and delivery and mail order because, one, we've got to keep the staff healthy. So every exposure risk is an issue because if we can't get our community the medicines that they need, we're in real big trouble, right? So we wanted patient safety as well. Because we just don't know. People were coming in and out of the store all in the beginning of the week, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, don't wait here. Don't shop the store. Like, we were just trying to, every day we had to escalate it up, and a lot of my colleagues are doing this too. It's not like we just decided to do this, but literally, sports is closed, restaurants are closed, or you can only pick up and certain things. So
my dad works for Joe Gibbs Racing, and he has 4 weeks off. They told him, you guys are done for 4 weeks at least. I have another friend where her husband pitches for the Major League Baseball, and they pretty much said, your season's probably not going to start until July.
Yeah. Kids are out of school. My kids are indefinitely out of school.
Really?
Everybody thinks... they're doing online. My kindergartner's doing online learning starting tomorrow. It's a new world, right? I keep saying this is the new norm. This is what my kids' generation is probably going to grow up understanding, right?
And I understood this a little more than most because I kind of do more of that digital world, and I'm like, this is a good kick in the butt for a lot of businesses and say, hey, we need to change with the times.
And adapt. It's... My kid's doing dance class today on the
Online.
iPad.
Yep.
I can't imagine what Zoom stock is right now. I
said DoorDash. If I could have invested in DoorDash, man.
So, long story short, we're trying to keep these podcasts nice and short, give people kind of these public service announcement type things. So, I'm still supporting do as much as you can to prime the body, get it ready. So obviously people are panicking in ways that they're buying everything up. So supplements are out of stock. We're having some shortages in medications. We're trying to keep in front of that by syncing patients' medications so we can look at it 7 to 10 days before they need it so we can make sure that we're sourcing this stuff properly. And like I said, everyone's, I was getting supplies so we can run lanes for our pickup, for our curbside, right? And I went to Lowe's today, and it was like the parking lot was full. People were just wandering about like it was a normal day, buying paint swatches. I'm sure everyone's that's stuck at home is going to go, well, let me do some DIY stuff, right?
I mean, I just told you I was going to do some over here on the weekend.
But it's like people, I just don't see the level of severity that like maybe China and Italy is doing right now. And I think it's not paranoia. I just think we need to be socially responsible and heed the warning and not do things that aren't necessary. I've canceled all my travel up through probably June at this point.
Yeah, me too. I was supposed to go to Hawaii next week.
That's not fun.
No.
So it's just like I said, it's what we have to do, right? So for us in the health field, we've got to stay patient with our healthcare workers and doctors and people that are on the front lines trying to really make sure this is happening. what I was listening to another podcast this week, and thinking about is, all these kids are out of school. We made that decision for K through 12. Kids are going home from college. Everybody's doing this online learning, and I don't think people realize like the impact that these big decisions are, because what happens when all kids go home? Then parents, moms dads, they can't work. And so 35% of all nurses have kids at home right now. So how does a nurse reply to work if she has to take care of a kid, So it's kind of one of those things where every little thing can impact, like look at the stock market. Like all these things impact society. So health-wise, there's some good to this, right? Today, as of Thursday, President said, or announced that the FDA has approved a treatment, which is an old hydroxychloroquine, which is the trade name Plaquenil. It's been used as an anti-malaria drug for forever. And it had shown in a small study that's been published but hasn't been peer reviewed, but a small study in France that showed within 6 days of this therapy, I think it was like 70% of the people that were treated had zero virus.
Oh, that's good.
I don't really know the actual numbers of the trial, but it was pretty remarkable. And then they added Zithromax or azithromycin to it for people that had, secondary viral type.
Like pneumonia stuff.
Yeah, and it was affected from a bacterial perspective, because a lot of times the problem with viruses is you get secondary pneumonia, which causes respiratory collapse, which causes a lot of the problems. So super kind of good news, right? We have an option that we're kind of exploring. They're also exploring a couple HIV meds. And so now we're going to go into the next phase of paranoia, right? Or pandemic treating, right? Everybody's going to want this treatment, and just in case. And I already looked, my wholesaler's already out of it. So as soon as these things happen, we have this reactionary component to it. So we should be doing the things to help stop this, right? Just keep remembering the CDC guidelines, the World Health Organization guidelines. They're good, right? Wash your hands often. Do it right. Stay at least 3 feet away. I'm kind of in the 6 feet away kind of space.
We're on the edge right here.
We're very close on this right now. If you're sick, stay home. Things like that. Don't touch your face. I've been so mindful of that.
I'm like, there's only one thing I know is that I touch my face a lot.
and when you cough like in your arm, your elbow, that kind of thing. I think every time I log into Google, it says do the 5, Yeah. Those make real good sense to me. And it's all about, I was telling the staff, we had a conference call this morning we've been having all these updates, and every day it's like something new. Is we just got to be patient, and we have to do what's necessary, right? Don't do the unnecessary stuff. And please be nice to the staff if you go into the store.
Look,
or if you go to the curb,
just anywhere, be nice, because everybody is on edge. I mean, I've had some of my best clients like bark right down my throat, and I'm like, I understand. Like, you are stressed out. I've lost many of my clients because their clients have canceled, and it's a huge snowball effect, and nobody's happy right now. So be nice.
Well, and that's part of this component of what we're going to be talking about in the next couple podcasts is how to deal with stress, not just this coronavirus. Because what's happening is, there's very, very little people that have, been infected with this or died, right? We know that this thing will double infection rates every week if it's not contained. So that means 64,000 people can be infected within like 6 weeks if you do the math, right? So we have to do this containment strategy. I think the next best thing, and I keep reminding my staff and our patients, everybody out there, is prep your immune system. Get it ready, right?
Now, do you know if there's any sort of knowledge or study out there, like if you had a better immune support or better immune system going into this, you were going to be in better shape?
Well, just think of the opposite, They were saying the people that are high risk are elderly, 50 and up, 60 and up, and immune compromised. So if your immune system is compromised, you can't get over any sickness, especially one that could be pretty potentially problematic here, right? This novel virus is something that we have to be concerned about because it's highly contagious. Just sharing air, not even coughing, right? That's the kind of virus we're talking about. And so what I extrapolate a lot is the science in that space. It says, well, it just makes sense to me to get the immune system not jacked up and activated per se, but being on high alert, priming it.
Yep.
So that's what I think the science makes sense for is I do this every cough, cold season. We prime our immune systems. I said it before, I'll say it again. It's vitamin A, it's vitamin D, it's vitamin C, selenium, zinc. Those are important. You can get a lot of that into a multivite, right? A good one. Probably have to do a little extra D, probably maybe a little extra A at this time. Some of these are fat soluble, so you have to be careful. Make sure you're doing these under the advisement of a health professional, hopefully. And then we were recommending all those other things that we put in those previous podcasts, the whole immune, the Virusid, both are back ordered. We're getting a boatload in a couple weeks. So I want everybody to make sure. That's kind of my new thing is like whole immune. I say offense, defense a lot. Whole immune, this Baker's yeast, a special component of Baker's yeast with beta glucan in it, is really that primer for the defense. And for the offense, we do Virusid, which kind of goes in and has targeted nutrients for viruses. Now we're working on actually using Virusid in tandem to kind of keep it like that. Like just like when we do preventative Tamiflu for flu. We do it once a day. So I'm actually recommending both strategy right now.
Can people, since you have some coming in a few weeks, are you letting people pre-order these with you?
Yeah, I think right now we're kind of we're gonna get there. I think we're gonna blog it out, put it on Facebook, Instagram, follow us on that stuff. Go on our website, click and get on the email list by just clicking on the newsletter link. That gets you kind of informed.
Yeah, that's the first place that we send that information.
Yeah, we're just sending out emails practically daily now, just making sure that we get that information up to date. But today it's don't go anywhere. Let's get ready for, the next level of this, which is probably going to be like a lockdown of some sort, social distancing and all this other stuff and trying to figure that stuff out. And, don't do anything unnecessary is really, the key to this one. And we're trying to keep these kind of nice short clips so people can do what they need to do and get things, 10, 15 minutes. We're going to be doing another one, and we're just keep on keeping it on. Thanks, guys, for listening. If you like this, just send it to your friends. Keep informed.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing right now. Share it with people because we want to get the right information out in front of the right people.
Yeah, and it's good information. I'm trying to do everything I can every day to just research more stuff to give people solutions, right? We're not just trying to give them updates on information, how many people are dead, how many people are infected. That's good and all, but let's make sure that we're doing our very best in supporting this community that we all live in and figuring it all out.
Awesome. Well, who are you?
I am Josh Rimany, and this is your Functional RX podcast. Stay well.
You guys.